Young bad bitch, I just brought her cause she mine. She fucking on a lit nigga, fucking a rich nigga, yeah.
Cuatro rolly, dos AP, young rich nigga como.
What's up, bro?
What's up? Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm joined by a very special guest today. If you want to introduce yourself and kind of tell the people what you do.
Absolutely. So my name is Alexis Valladares. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a loan officer. I do real estate coaching. I've been doing real estate related activities for like 4 years now. And this is all I do, bro. I eat, breathe. I'm obsessed with it. I'm an entrepreneur. Again, I'm just trying to scale this business. I'm investing in real estate myself now. And I'm really just like in the building phase of my business. You know, I'm trying to, again, scale, allocate systems, and just grow this thing to a point where I can just full-time invest into real estate, grow my portfolio, and, you know, at the end of the day, become financially free, which is what we're all trying to accomplish.
Of course. And I know we just got done with the training. Can we go back a little bit and kind of talk about, I know you said you've been an entrepreneur for 12 years.
Right.
So how did that start off for you? Like, what did you first start off doing?
So I'll take it back to my family history, right? So my family grew up, you know, with money. My dad used to own businesses. So I would always see his entrepreneurship, like, you know, spirit and like wanting to make money. He did go the school route, but for some reason I just didn't want to go that route. And like, I endured his like ambition to make money and like scale businesses. So I was always trying to figure out how to start a business, you know, ever since high school when I was 14, I would always try to like figure out what I can buy and sell. You know, how can I make money without having to like sacrifice time for money? So I was selling chargers, I was getting iPhones, fixing them, just like I told you right now. I was always trying to like come up, like make a business, but as an entrepreneur, like people now see like all the glitter and the glam, like all the successes, the top producer, the glorified stuff, but the people that really know me for the last 12 years see all the ups and downs, and mainly downs that I had to go through to get to this point. But that's what a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand, that it takes all those no's, all those rejections, all those times of doubt, all those startups failing to really get to a point of success. So I've tried everything under the sun, bro. You know, I've tried, I knew I had a job at Pizza Hut when I was younger, and I lasted there like 3 months.
Wow.
After that, I never looked back, and it was always trying to, like those people that are watching this that know me from way back then, they're like, every time they speak of me, it's like he was always trying. He was never not trying, you know. I wasn't succeeding yet, but I never stopped trying, you know, and everybody can attest to that, and everybody now is like, I always knew you were going to do something because you just never stopped trying, you know.
Of course. And I know, like you talked about being in the real estate space. For someone that, because I know a lot of people when they're thinking real estate, becoming a real estate agent, they think it's very saturated and they can't make it in that market. And I know you're fairly new, 3 years in the game. What would be the first steps you would take if you said, I'm starting from scratch, first weekend, how would you approach it?
If you just got your license?
Just got your license, signed to a brokerage, your first week in real estate, how are you approaching the game?
So the first thing you got to understand about doing real estate, like we talked about today, is finding out how to, if you are part-time, become a full-time realtor. How can I eat, sleep, repeat real estate all the time? So I would sit down and analyze what my finances are, what my financial structure looks like, and make sure I have 6 months of reserves in order to just fully focus on real estate activities. Once I do that, you have to, you know, if you don't have money, you have to find a way. You can be resourceful. I didn't necessarily have a mentor right away. You have to find a way to build some sort of money to pay for mentorship or coaching. That's just my opinion. And I don't say that because I'm a coach. I say that because to speedline your process in real estate, if you go to someone that's already doing exactly what you're doing and they can give you a step-by-step, it's going to fast-track your success. You know, it's going to cost money, whether upfront or commission-based. But that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find someone that can guide me as quickly as possible versus the typical route of like signing up for a brokerage, going to a bunch of trainings, learning everything about contracts, this and that. I'm setting up myself for 6 months of fully focused time on real estate and finding that one person that fits my agenda that can show me how to get to 6 figures as quickly as possible so then I can start scaling my business.
Of course, that's always going to be the goal. And I think it's the biggest part is just being out in the field and taking that risk. because that's the best way you're gonna learn is from your failures. That's the best way I've learned so far.
It's the only way to learn. You don't learn when you win. If you're just winning, you're not identifying anything that was wrong. So you're not learning, you're not bettering yourself. And even though when you win, I've learned this now through losses and wins, there's always something to learn when you win. But a lot of people just win and think that, okay, I did something right, so I don't have to change anything, you know. But you can always fine tune and make things better. But losing quickly and losing often is the key. I've said this 1,000 times to success. Every single no is a step closer to a yes. You know, every single failure is a step closer to success. So.
And I know we talked about it again in the training, but how important for the people that are watching, how important do you think having a strong mindset and just being in the right mind frame is in business in general and in life?
Yeah, it's the biggest key. Like there's so many different things that add up to, you know, a finished product of a successful person. But if you don't have the mindset to go through the hardships that you're going to have to go through to get to where you're going to, you know, eventually want to be, you're not going to get anywhere. Because a lot of people, there's a reason why the 1% of the 1% and the 99% of the 99%, because 99% of people are not willing to go through the shit that the 1% are. That's why it's extremely difficult to get to a position where, you know, some of us are in, because a lot of people would have given up, you know, very, very early in that journey, because it's rough, bro. It's doubt. Yeah, it's doubt from people. It's you know, being weird. It's being uncomfortable. It's being misunderstood, and it doesn't happen overnight. A lot of people that see my success, they think it happened from, you know, I've only been in the industry 3 years overnight. No, bro. It's been 10, 12 years of constant failure in entrepreneurship, learning, rebuilding, getting back on my feet, failing. Like, been through everything, bro. You know, like, so there's no overnight success, and most people aren't willing to pay that 10-year price to get to where they want to be. You know, they just give up early and they get comfortable, and it even makes it harder with society now, the way it's structured, to really push through. Because if you go up in the school system, they're teaching you, you know, go to school, get a job, pay your bills.
I'm still in the school system right now. Yeah, I know how it is.
And retire, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're doing entrepreneurship and you're putting your foot forward, but you're getting consumed by school and like by the idea of like having a degree is necessary. When I make, and it's not about money, but I make more money, and some of my peers make more money than anybody with the best degree and the best job make, and we're in control of our time.
Of course.
You know, and it's not about the money. Like, you can make way less money than some people and be completely happy, but it's about being able to manage your time as you wish, you know?
Well, with that being said, kind of for the people that are in a similar situation as me, I guess, how would you approach it from, I know you said to take real estate on full time, that's the goal, have the 6 months reserve. As someone that's approaching going to law school, how would you, because I know that's takes up a lot of time and you won't be able to take real estate on as a full-time.
You're going to law school?
Yes, in August.
So, I don't know if this is going to answer your question, but for law school, repeat the question because I want to answer the way you're asking it.
So, how would you approach, because I know you said to have that 6 month reserve for the people that are doing real estate part-time. With something like school, for example, like law school, you can't just have like reserves, monetary reserves, to be able to take on real estate full-time. Do you still think it's possible to attempt real estate part-time in that situation?
No. You can't attempt anything part-time and expect to be the best. You go back to the greatest of all times, the Kobe's, the Jordans, the James, anybody that was great or the best at what they did, they never did it part-time. So if you expect to become anywhat relevant in any kind of industry, if you're doing it part-time, you're just not going to ever become the best, really. And comparing law school to entrepreneurship or real estate is different, because anything career path related, you know where your end goal is and you have a step-by-step checklist to get there. In entrepreneurship, you're faced with creating your own path, and I can go this way, I can go that way, I can do this, I can do that. And it's so hard to really hone in on where you have to go and what moves you have to make that certain day, that certain week to get to your end goal, because it's not printed out. You have to create it yourself. So of course it's completely two different things. But to answer your question, no, you can't expect to do anything part-time and get the results you want.
Of course. I personally, that's what I thought, just thinking about it and because I've sat back already, I've analyzed everything and really saw, and I know the effort that it takes to be in your position in real estate. And
in anybody's successful position in any industry, really. You know, but some people just classify success as like, you know, at the end of the day, we have to understand that you can do whatever you want in the world right now, whether it's being a teacher, being a doctor, being a nurse, a real estate professional, and still make money.
Yeah.
You don't have to be tied to the typical 9 to 5. Like we were just talking about content creation. You can be a doctor and like make 250 grand a year as a doctor, but then you can go create content on YouTube and blow up your YouTube channel and make millions of dollars off of that and still do what you love, you know? So that excuse that entrepreneurs give that I just love what I do and that's why I'm never going to be rich or, you know, wealthy, that's an excuse because there's so many different ways to acquire wealth now, even if you take the non-traditional route of entrepreneurship and you go down the career path of school, you know, but
it's about putting the work in too after.
It's about, there's no secret to success, bro. It's constant work, grind, fail, try again until you fucking get it right, bro. And it's either you die trying or you do it. It really is like that. Some people see their success at age 40, 35, 55, 60. Thank God I'm able to start seeing success at this age. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm quickly getting to where I do want to be because I move very quickly. Like I'm definitely built different and I have a different mindset than even most entrepreneurs because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything and I make decisions very quickly and what usually takes people 6 months, a year can take me a week, 2 weeks. Because idea, act. An idea without action is basically nothing. So I validate my ideas. Some of them don't work. That's fine. I learn. Some of them do work. Boom, I scale. So that's really about it with that.
Did you always have that mindset, or is that something that you had to work on to get to that point?
I always had the mindset. I just didn't have the tools to like apply because I didn't know I wasn't equipped. I didn't fail enough times to learn what not to do in order to do what I needed to do, you know? So the mindset's the first thing and then applying is the second thing. And a lot of people are not okay with losing and failing all the time. It gets redundant and then they just quit. Yeah. So if you want to do entrepreneurship, you have to be okay with waiting a long time. It's like, I always refer to Russ, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. You know, there is no destination. It's never going to end. I have millionaires, multi-millionaires that are my age on my podcast come in and they're like hungry, just wanting to make, and I'm like, dude, like everybody in your shoes, like from the outside is like, you made it.
Yeah.
But there's never an I made it moment. It's always more, scale. And again, not about the money, about how many lives you can impact, about how many companies you can scale, how many, people you can change and yourself, obviously, because once you get to a certain point of income, let's say, 100K to 500K a month, there's really not a huge difference. Like, you're already doing whatever the fuck you want at 100K a month.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's not about the money, bro. That's why you always see millionaires, their hamster wheels always turning because they're in love with the journey, not the destination.
That's important you say that too, because especially now with social media being so big, a lot of people see the flashy life, all this type of stuff, and they're like, yo, how are they getting this done? But they don't see the work that's been put in.
They don't, bro, because we don't really show that, bro. When you're really grinding and you enjoy what you do, I'll post sometimes here, like, I used to, like, I'm working, grinding, whatever, like, bro, when you're in the lab, like, you're in the lab, like,
locked in.
You're locked. It's like a flow state, like, you're dialed as fuck, and you don't really care about anything else. And when you're doing things for the right reasons, like, you don't care about showing off to other people. Like, if you're posting something, it's because you want to post it. You're not trying to prove people wrong. Like, I've been through that, bro. I've already, like, I'm not on a level where I have fuck you money yet, where I have everything I've ever wanted, but I already have a taste of that, and and it's not about the materialistic things or any of that. It's just about saying that you wanted to do something, you set a goal, and you did it. That's a real fulfillment, bro. Like, I was having this conversation with my mom yesterday. I feel bad, kind of, in a sense, for people who grow up with money and never really had a hard lesson because they're never going to have the opportunity to feel self-fulfilled and accomplished. And it sucks. It's out of their control. But the feeling of doing something on your own there's nothing like it, bro. Like, owning your own car, buying your own house, like, with your own sweat equity, like, I'll fucking flex that all day. Yeah. But I just can't, like, imagine how someone feels like flexing a watch that their parents got them or a car. And again, there's people that's what they there's no choice.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
Nothing against them, but because they grew up in that life and they're going to enjoy it no matter what, but they're never going to be able to feel the feeling of self-fulfillment. So anybody out there that's going through the struggles and is starting from nothing, you're privileged. Like, you have a massive opportunity, and you're lucky enough to be in that position to like know what rock bottom feels like, so then you can really enjoy what the top feels like. Because if you're always at the top, you're not going to think it feels that good, because you were never at the bottom.
Yeah, and I know you shared your story from before, that you grinded for everything you have.
Everything, bro. Yeah, I mean, I've had help along the way. You know, you can't do it by yourself. I don't want to say this by myself. My mom has been such a huge help. My family, you know, but monetary help, it's been me, bro. You know, it's been me, my ambition, my drive, my discipline. I'm not perfect or anything like that, but it's really one thing. It's just don't quit.
Yeah. Don't
quit. Keep going. You know.
With talking about your family, how important do you think it is to have like the people around you just tight? Because I know personally, I've cut off a lot of people recently, and I've really made my circle really tight with the people that I want to be with, and they bring, you know, a good sense of like productivity and helping you just be successful. Have family, you know, friends, that type of thing. How important do you think that is, like the people around you?
It's super critical. Like, whoever you're hanging out around with and whatever kind of thoughts they're consuming or they're outputting into the universe, that's what you're consuming. So if you're around 5 people, it's super, super cliche, but like if you're around 5 people who are always constantly trying to like go out and party or just, you know, eat shit and not really do anything, not get after it, you're going to not get after it. You know, if you're around people that are constantly talking about money, constantly talking about growing, leveling up, how can I make this better, how can I make this more efficient, that's what you're going to be doing. That's your environment. Like, I saw a post today that was like, a shark born in an 8-inch fish tank can only grow 8 inches. A shark born in the ocean can grow 8, 10, 12 feet, 15 feet because of their environment. It's not you, it's your environment. So you have to be extremely careful with who you hang around with, who you select your time with. That person that just, you know, said, oh, like, can we just meet up and talk about things? I'm like, no. Like, I offer that service now, but I'm not saying I'm not, that's maybe a bad example. I'm just very selective with who I hang out around with, because they can influence your energy really hardly. And I only want to be around people that are on the same mission. So yeah, I've had to cut off a lot of people, and a lot of people, you know, don't understand how I value my time, but that's not my problem. So many people now reach out from before that are like, oh, let's hang out, let's catch up, and I'm like, look, I really don't have time, man.
That's how
you know, I really don't have time. Like, it is what it is. If you weren't there with me when I was coming up and I had nothing, you can't expect to be with me when I'm up, you know. And I have old friends that are not on the same tip, not in the same mindset, but that they stuck with me through those times, and I make time for those friends because I value what, you know, they were there for you when there was nothing, and now they're deserving of being there with you when there is something.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying. I know, like, personally, I feel like people can drain you, and like negativity, I think, 100%. Is very sticky, and I try to stay away from all that type of stuff.
Yeah, energy is extremely sticky, especially negative energy. There's a huge energy transfer that happens when you hang out with other people. And not to say that I only hang out with people that are positive all the time. I meet new people, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to understand that person's just not good for your energy, and sometimes it's hard to negate that. But it's all about controlling your mind and your thoughts and your actions, because every little habit that you create is going to determine your future. So a lot of people like to set these long-term goals and all these plans and things, but it's created in the day-to-day, that every single day, what am I doing right now? I just finished that training. I'm really tired, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to pump this shit out. Like, I'm going to pump this shit out. We're going to talk about some good stuff. We're going to get some reels, some content. And I might not see any results from this content in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months. But it'll come. Yeah, no, just like everything I did today, like all these coaching plans that I'm able to sell now was thought about and created in my head even before I got licensed. Like, when I already knew the vision. But it takes years, bro. It takes years. Like, one of my best friends, she knows who she is. I've been telling her, like, for years, like, my vision about coaching, training, influencing people. And at that point, I had nothing, bro. And I envisioned all of this stuff, and it came to fruition. And this is just a start. But it goes to show, like, anything you want, you can have, as long as you make those daily habits and you compound them over and over and over again. It's going to happen. I was telling a friend of mine the other day, just imagine, I'm 26 now, just imagine I outwork everybody an extra 4 or 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. 12 months a year for 5 years, you can't catch up.
Impossible.
You can't catch up. I'm gonna be so far ahead of you in 5 years that you can't catch up. And it's not about me versus you. It's about me versus me. But there's people in your industry that are trying to take your paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about, people want to do it like instant gratification. Like they want it instantly. It's about compounding those extra 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day. Can we do that really quick? Can we do 4 hours times 7 days a week? That's 28 hours a week.
28 hours a week.
Times 52 weeks. Times 5 years. How many hours is that?
7,000.
I have 7,000 hours over you. It takes 10,000 hours to become a master or something, right?
Yeah.
In 5 years, I have 7,000 hours over you on top of what I'm already working. I'm gapping you, bro. You can't catch up. For the last 12 years, I've been gapping everybody with the work, the failing, the trying, the risks. And then they're surprised when I'm at where they're at. And then they use excuses to say, oh, but like this or that, my circumstance. And I'm like, no, we had the same choices that we could have made. Yeah. And I decided to go this way and you decided to go that way. It's on you. You know, and it's all about understanding that it's going to happen day by day by day. And like, you're going to look up and results are going to be in front of you. Like, look, I just got to clear the clothes in my house, bro. Like,
yeah,
2 months ago, I set up, I wish I had it here, but I'm recording on my vision board, buy 2 investment properties. I just closed on the first one this year. I closed on one last year, and all that stuff is written down on a vision board, executed, planned, and like, I just put my head down and I work and I grind, and then I look up and it's like, holy shit, like, the result is there, you know? And now I can expedite the results because I already have systems. But like before, years before, bro, there was no like success.
Yeah.
It was just pure faith at that point. It was like, dude, like all these things I'm thinking about, all these successes that I want, I don't know if they're possible. I'm believing they are, but I've never had a confirmation. As soon as I had a confirmation that all the shit that I was thinking about could become a reality, bro, it was game over.
So let me ask you with that, because I know me personally, I have a book that I write in every night. I do. I don't know if you're familiar with the 5x55 method.
No.
It's like a manifestation method. You write in your journal and you do scripting and stuff. Do you do something similar as like visualization? I know you shared the story of putting the picture up in your car. That was that touched me when you.
It's a no cap story, bro. It's a no cap story. I legitimately did that. And recently, 2 of the biggest things. Let me answer your question really quick, and then I'll go back to that.
Yeah.
2 of the biggest things that I've wanted recently happened. Like, even though I don't own those things yet, being in a Lamborghini and being on a private jet was like 2 of my biggest like manifestations. And like, I've always imagined the feeling of like being on it, everything in detail, and they finally happened. And like, now it just like speeds up the process. Like, now your body and your brain knows it's real, and it's just a matter of time before it becomes your everyday reality, you know? So what was your question there? Was the 5x55? Yeah.
Do you take any time, like daily time, like, oh, I do 20 minutes of meditation a day, or
absolutely. I do 2 massages a week for like an hour and a half, 2 hours each.
Okay.
And before each massage, I think about a topic. All right, like what am I gonna think about today? What am I gonna visualize in detail? You know, that's how I get relaxed, the massage, the therapy, and then I visualize all these things happening. So, for example, I'll go in there and I'll think about retiring my mom. Like, how does that feel? Like, what is my environment? Who are my friends? What does my bank account look like? What am I dressing like? What am I driving? In order for that to happen, you know? And I've role-played it. I've gone into her store and, like, walked in with a bag of, like, nothing inside, and I'm like, Mom, you're done.
Damn.
You're done. And, like, I'll get in that moment, you know? And, like, you're just creating that reality for yourself. And like, by feeling those feelings are so intense that you're just like now driven to put in all that action to make that a real thing, you know? And then the writing down the goals over and over again. I don't do it daily, but I definitely practice it at the beginning of a year. And on quarterly and monthly, you have to reset and realign your goals, because sometimes you're growing quicker than you thought. And you got to readjust, because if not, you're selling yourself short. So last year, for example, I wrote down, I'm going to sell 25 minutes. I'm going to sell 25 minutes 100,000 times. And I didn't end up selling 25. I sold like 17, but I had like another 8 or 9 listed, which added up to the 25. So like bro, it just, you shoot high, like you shoot super, super high, and you're going to fall somewhere near, like, you know what I'm saying? So
I saw your video on that today that you posted. I think it was about people that are setting like realistic goals.
Yeah.
You gotta shoot higher than that.
Yeah, some people like, bro, like Ryan Pineda. I love Ryan Pineda. I follow him all the time. I don't know if you know who that is.
No, I don't.
He's an influencer on Instagram. He's a real estate investor. I love his stuff, but he sets that's just his way of working. He preaches setting realistic and smart goals so you can accomplish them, positively reinforce yourself, and then keep going. But I don't think that way. I think I set goals and I miss them, and I set higher goals the next year. Cause that's some pussy shit. Like if you're gonna fail and you're gonna think like, oh fuck, I gotta set a lower goal. Like you're just soft.
Yeah.
And not everybody's built that way, bro. Like this year, like last year, I set goals that I didn't reach, and this year I doubled them. And the output, the results that I'm having this year are double and triple because of the framework that you set yourself up for. But a lot of people are conditioned to set themselves up short because we grew up in a school system where we were like literally like conditioned to like raise your hand to go to the bathroom, like limiting resources. There's only X amount of things that you can have. You can get a job, you get paid this much, because the people teaching us are limited. Like they have limited resources. If you're going to fucking business school and Andrew Tate's your professor, the sky's the limit, bro. Like there's no limitations, and it's whatever you, again, the environment thing, whatever you're consuming, whatever you're thinking is a reality. We live in a world of abundance, bro. That's why they're like rich people aren't like cartoons. They're real people that have real money, and they have those things because of the way they think about life.
Yeah, I personally think going through the school system, I'm graduating my bachelor's now in April. It's honestly a waste. Because I got a business degree, and I'm learning from people that are not.
You're gonna learn more from someone like me, someone like Michael, someone like the people that are actually making the money, practicing the thing.
Not driving a Toyota Corolla.
I always say that. Don't get me wrong. There could be people, that have cool programs in business school that have real entrepreneurs but you can do that shit for free, bro.
Yeah.
You can learn from people for free and then really pay someone that you really like, or work for them for free to really understand what it is it takes to become financially set up, because school's just not the way, bro. And everybody made fun of me, bro. Everybody made fun of me in high school because I would always fall asleep. I didn't really care because I wasn't driven by that. I wasn't passionate about that, but I knew I had passion and I knew I had intelligence. And I make more money than everybody that graduated high school with me. And again, it's not about the money, but it's about setting yourself up, bro. I can do things now for myself, for my family, that I wouldn't have been able to do if I would have followed another route, And a crazy thing is that my 10-year reunion is coming up, and I always told myself, even when I was in high school, I'm gonna pull up to the 10-year in a fucking Lambo, and that's gonna be a reality, bro. It's gonna be a reality now, and it's not gonna be a rented Lambo. I'll tell you that. And honestly, at that point, it's not even a fuck you anymore. It's like I don't really care anymore, Like back to what I talked about today. If you're doing things to prove people wrong, you're only gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Other people don't care about you, bro. People don't really care about what you do.
I feel like you lose the motivation too once you kind of get to that.
Once you accomplish a goal and you don't feel fulfilled because you had the wrong purpose behind it, you lose motivation and you get a kick in the stomach because you're like, I did all that for this and the feeling wasn't that.
Yeah. You
got to do things for yourself, for your purpose, for your family. It's not about the materialistic things or proving people wrong. They don't really care at the end of the day, bro. Proving people wrong is boring. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull up to that 10-year reunion in a Lambo because I proved myself right. I don't care about proving people wrong anymore. It doesn't matter.
I loved how you shared, like, even that side when you were doing the training, like, your first commission checks, you're going to get, like, Gucci shoes and Rolexes and that type of stuff.
I still love all that shit.
No, yeah, of course.
And don't get me wrong, but I was buying those things at first to gain validation from people, and in hopes that they would look at me differently now because I have that. To prove them wrong, I have the shoes now, I have the watch now, and you got to do it for yourself, bro. Like if a watch or clothing or shoes or cars make you happy, good. But if you're doing it to flex on other people, you're an idiot. Sorry. Yeah,
I like listening to that because I have like my own motivation to want to do that stuff so that I like prove people wrong in a sense.
It's normal, and I'm not bashing that mindset because I recently had that, and I still will catch myself sometimes like, like no, bro, that's not. But there's just so much more fulfillment in doing it for yourself and your own gain. It's crazy, bro, because like I don't sit down enough times and like really reflect, and I try to do it more often because so many things have changed in my life so quickly. Like I'll get like the 2-year snap memories, and I was still at home like with boxes of golf balls in my room.
Damn. Like
trying to start up a startup, and now it's different, bro. I'm closing on properties. I'm I'm growing my business, and it's just like, damn, bro, like I begged so hard, prayed so hard, like at that point when I was stuck, to get out of it, and I thought there was no way out, you know. So like, I've never really gotten emotional about it, but I probably should get more into it. I know when I left my first condo, like the first condo that I ever moved into, when I was leaving, like when the place was empty and I was moving into a house, a big house that I have now, nice house, like basically like remodeled to my liking, I started fucking bawling in tears because I was like, dude, this was the first place I ever, like, I'm leaving behind so many memories here with so many people, and so many things changed in 12 months for me that it was just like that day was like, holy shit, dude, your life is completely different, bro, you know? So it's good to like be thankful. Like that's a huge part of like continuing to succeed, is appreciating what you have, and genuinely being thankful to the universe that like your blessing was granted, you know? It came through hard work and all that stuff, but you have to be thankful for it. And a lot of people can mistake me as like not humble. I'm not humble. If you look up the definition of humble, it's not what you think it is. I'm very, very grounded, and I'm very, very thankful and appreciative for how far I've come, the people that helped me get here. But I've earned what I've gotten, and there's no reason why I should hold back on demonstrating that things are you know, accomplishable, and that I did them and I'm proud of them. So there's no reason why I have to, you know, control my personality in front of people. Like some people get uncomfortable with the way I talk, or they say you're too cocky, you're arrogant. That's how you want to perceive it. That's on you.
I also see it as motivation, though.
That's what I'm saying. There's two ways that you can take it. You can take what I say as an inspirational way, a motivational way, and you can use that to better yourself, or you can be a hater and just hate on me, and it's not going to affect me. You're going to continue losing like you are. So my only intent with putting out content and doing the things I do and saying the things I say and giving real life examples of what's changed for me is not to brag, but to maybe change a life or two, you know, and eventually hopefully change thousands and millions of lives, because I was once in that position, you know. And again, if I change your life today, right, for example, I'm not changing your life, I'm changing your family's life, I'm changing your friends' lives. Hopefully they change those people's lives. So it's a trickle effect, you know. So I sleep perfectly fine at night with the way I am, because I know I have good intentions always, you know, even though sometimes like things can get misconstrued or whatever. I know where I stand, so I have no issues with the way I am.
That's it. You hit it right on.
Yeah, that's why Tate's the way he is, bro, because he knows his intentions at the end of the day.
Of course, that's someone I've looked up to a lot.
I look up to him a lot because, and all the girls and the fucking stupid little ass fucking guys that are watching this show right now, they're gonna be like, because you're a girl hater, bro. If they had the fucking brain capacity to actually watch one of his podcasts and see the things he says about women, like women are like super essential to what we do, you know, and they bring a lot of things to the table, but those little short clips get fucking cut up in a way where they
everything.
And again, it's one of the topics that help you blow up, though. Controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Controversy.
You had it in the training.
If you're controversial, people are going to pay attention to you because they're going to get mad at what you're saying. But for those people that are like super fucking like, oh, he's a fucking, like, open your brain, you know, like, sure, I don't agree with everything he says, but there's so many good things to take from a person like that, and other people that are trying to motivate and help other people, that you can use for yourself. But if you're going to be closed-minded about it, you're never going to keep moving forward, you know?
Kind of to wrap things up, because I know we're getting close to the time, what would be your greatest piece of advice to a young entrepreneur or your younger self?
There's so many different ways that I can answer this question. I'm going to try to answer it like in a non-generic way, but it might sound generic. It's just don't give up. You know, really don't give up, and really see it through, and keep, you know, if you're trying things that are not working, keep trying, try new things. Just don't give up, because when you find your thing and you combine that work ethic with your passion, like, you can see a lot of success, you know. So stay consistent, stay disciplined. It's going to take a lot of time to see the results you really want to see, so don't give up. Yeah. Of
course, that's amazing advice. I think, you just got to keep going. Keep banging it out with discipline, consistency. And
bang it out, bro. Yeah. That's it. It'll start happening as you go, you know. Like, if you told me 2 years ago I would have known everything I know now and be where I'm at now, I'd probably be like, that's crazy. But I just kept banging it out, bro. I kept trying. And there's been so many failures, even in the last 2 years. Oh my God, bro. I still go through so many hardships. Like, people probably think I'm a fucking multimillionaire or some shit. Like, I'm not yet, but I'm definitely well on my way. But more money, more problems, bro. And let me say one thing. If you don't know how to handle stress and high pressure situations, you're never gonna have a lot of money. So if you really want money and financial freedom, you better be able to take on a lot of financial responsibility and learn how to fucking be cool under pressure, because right now the work will be falling apart. I'll be like, all right, bro. I'm doing what I can to control my outcomes. Whatever else happens is out of my control, and I can't dwell on my failures, and you can't dwell on your successes either, because you're gonna get in your head, and your ego is gonna boost up, and you're gonna end up fading again. So
you watch everything just crumble.
Yeah, bro. I just got massive news, like big news. I'm here right now. Fucking let's go get a drink.
Yeah, let's go party. Let's go.
No, bro.
Yeah.
I have people on my phone right now. Like, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Like, cause I was gonna maybe go somewhere else after this, but I'm like, nah. I gotta grind. Like, tomorrow I'm gonna close on the house, and I'm gonna go straight to the house, and I'm gonna set up the contractors to fix it, remodel it, and I'm gonna start looking for my next deal. And at some point you gotta look up and be like, all right, like, I'm gonna celebrate really quick. Because you have to celebrate what you want to see more of. Russ says it, always celebrate what you want to see more of. You really do. You got to, like, tell yourself, like, this is positive. I want more of this. So celebrate really quick and get back to work. Because, bro, I love this shit, dog. Like, I don't savor my wins. Like,
yeah.
I don't really even talk about, like, my wins, like, anymore. I'm just like, damn, I do my gratitude. I'm like, yo, fuck yeah, like, this is big deal, and I put my head back down. Like, I'm moving at light speed, bro. I'm trying to do things quick. I'm trying to have, like, and your environment is so crucial, because what I'm about to say, I wouldn't have said at the beginning of the year. I'm trying to have $10 million net worth by age 30, when my goal was $1 million by age 30. Wow. But I'm meeting people now that are like, I want 100 M's by 30. And they already have 40 or 50 M's, and they're my age, and I'm like, what? Why can't I do it? So my new goal now is 10 M's by 30. I'm 26, so I gotta get to work.
Fuck yeah. Bro, I hope you guys got something from this for sure, because this is definitely, hands down, the best podcast I've done.
Yeah?
Hands down the best podcast I have so far.
Appreciate you for having me on, bro.
Of course, thank you. I know you've had a long day too.
Absolutely, bro, but I love doing this shit. This right here is like, this was like dreams before, bro. Like, going from like she drove my car here, so like whatever, like I laid the seat back, and I was like just like relaxing, you know, like getting in the mindset for the training. Earlier today I was building out my podcast studio in my house.
Damn. Like,
bro,
that's gonna be sick once you have it finished.
Yeah, all these things are like you sit back and, like, at least me, I'm like, this is exactly what I dreamt of, you know, going from the training to then the podcast, and then going home now, waking up tomorrow and closing on a new house. Like, this is all the shit that I manifested in my head, you know, and it's here now, so it's pretty fucking.
Bro,
you know,
me personally, if
I
saw that unfolding, like, I'd get teary-eyed, like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
See all your dreams coming out like that, like.
Yeah, I for sure get them. No, I for sure, bro. I've closed on houses, and I've accomplished certain things, and I'll just get in the car and I'll call my mom, and I'll start crying, bro, because I remember, like, this one time she was on the couch, like, things were really bad, bro, and like, she was crying, and she's just like, just please go to school, you know, like, please. And I was like, just trust me. Just trust me. I don't know how yet, but I promise you I won't give up, and I will make it one day. You know, I promise you I will make it. So, calling her all the time and being like, Mom, like, this just happened. That I might get teary-eyed, and being like, Mom, like, this just went down, that just went down, I got this cooking, you know. I don't really share a lot of my personal stuff with people. I do, but like I don't like to just, like, because like it one might make people feel uncomfortable, like everything you got going on, or two, you know, I just like speaking it when it's done. But she's like my fucking therapist, you know. I'll call her, be like, Mom, like, it's crazy, like look at all the things that are happening, you know, like, and she's still a big help for me. Like, she's helped me through hard times, even throughout these last few years. But it's crazy sometimes when I put myself back, like, I haven't done this in a little bit, like, I'm putting myself back in that moment when you had, like, fucking nothing, bro. And it's like, there was no light at the end of the tunnel back then, you know? And I guess my piece of advice to young entrepreneurs would be, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just gotta keep driving. Like, there's no tunnel in the world that's one-sided. There's always two openings, you know? Like when you enter the darkest part of your life, you're entering the tunnel, and the longer you wait in that tunnel, like the better that sunrise is going to be, because the longer you're in the dark, the more you're going to appreciate the sunlight, you know? So just keep pushing. If you're in a dark place, keep pushing. There has to be sunshine at the end of it, no matter what. So
Keep pushing, don't give up.
I think we're going to end it on that, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fire.
Awesome.
I'm on a whole nother level, I'm geeking. You think you fucking with me, boy, you tweaking. Ready for war, I just need me a reason. I'm getting buckets in regular season. Honestly wondering when I'ma lose it. Come get your wifey, she with it, she choosing. Maybe I be driving itself, I be cruising.